So the backlog of ships waiting to pass through the Suez Canal that built up while it was blocked by a giant container vessel could be cleared in 3 or 3.5 days. That's according to the Canal Authority's chairman. This comes as traffic on the crucial waterway has resumed after the Ever Given was finally freed by salvage crews after almost a week. Around 12% of the world's total trade goes through this canal. Now that's nearly $10 billion worth of goods passing through on a daily basis. And that includes bulk items like oil, iron ore, as well as consumer products such as furniture, clothing, computer parts. There's even livestock. It could put further pressure on the global supply chain that's already impacted by coronavirus, of course. Well, let's now discuss this with Leslie Batchelor, Chief Operation Officer at Open Borders Direct. Good morning, Leslie. Nice to see you. So give us your take on how easy it's going to be to clear this backlog. So freight costs were higher anyway, despite this event, because of the costs of the pandemic, various other issues, Brexit as well for UK exporters. So when do you think we might see global trade sort of return to normal? And when I say that, I mean taking into account the pandemic, this crisis, and also things like Brexit. I know that's a hard question to answer, Leslie, but give it your best shot, please. We'll probably talk about this again, but for now, thank you. Leslie Batchelor there, joining us from Open Borders Direct. Well, now let's talk about trade. This subject's becoming a bit of a theme, but we're looking at the United States now. Its trade representative is saying the US is suspending all trade engagement with Myanmar until the return of a democratically elected government. Let's go live to our Asia Business Hub. Sharanjit Lail has got the details. Nice to see you, Sharanjit. So now the US that's it. It says no more trade until things change. In the meantime, we've got news that should bring the US and Southeast Asia closer together, and this is going to be under the water. We should watch this space. Thank you, Sharanjit. Good to see you. So borders are largely closed for many countries. Flights are limited right now. So how do we get international business on the move again? How do you press the flesh and clinch those multi-million-dollar deals in a COVID-secure way? Well, Singapore thinks it may have the answer in the form of a new facility tailored for business travellers who will not need to quarantine. Saranjana Tiwari has been finding out how it works. Young people have been worse hit by unemployment during the COVID crisis, accounting for nearly 2/3 of job losses in the UK since the pandemic struck. But that's not the end of the story. A new report out this morning says that youth unemployment will remain high even after other areas of the economy begin to recover. That's according to the Learning and Work Institute and the Prince's Trust. Well, we have Dr. Fiona Aldridge with us now, who's from the Learning and Work Institute. Welcome to the programme. Now, we are all very aware that young people have been hit particularly hard by this pandemic, but why are they likely to stay out of work for longer? OK, Dr. Fiona Aldridge, thank you. Thanks for getting up so early to talk to us about your report. Stay with us here on BBC News, still to come. First, though, here in the UK, a new finger prick blood test that can detect antibodies to the coronavirus is to be used to track the impact of the vaccination programme across the UK. The inquiry into the Grenfell Tower fire, in which 72 people died in June of 2017, has been told that residents who raised safety concerns were bullied and the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, has announced that the drug GHB is to be reclassified following its... This is BBC News. The top stories. How do you jumpstart the economy after COVID, and how do you stop your most successful startups from heading to the US to look for further funding as they need to grow? The leaders of 35 European unicorns and startups, including Cabify and BlaBlaCar, think they have part of the answer. They're meeting with the European Union's Research and Innovation Commissioner, Maria Gabriel, today, and they're calling for $118 billion European sovereign tech fund to kickstart the creation of startups in green tech and in science. So what could such a policy look like? Let's talk to someone who's going virtually to the meeting today, Facility Live founder Gianpiero Lotito. Welcome to the programme. $118 billion. That's a lot of money to ask for at this particular time, isn't it? This will work then. If I'm a tech startup in Europe, how do I get hold of some of this money in this fund if I want to grow?